All right, good morning, guys. Can you hear me all? All right. In the next 50 minutes, I hope when you finish my talk today, you have some idea how to make an impression during your interview at medical school. All right. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Next slide, please. All right, I have no disclosure today. Next one. All right, so this is our talk. I give you some insight about the medical school admission or residency process, because when you get into medical school, you think you're finished. Not yet. You have to go again to residency. And even you finish residency, not yet. Go to fellowship again. All right? And even you finish fellowship, not yet. Kaiser interview, ORCAP interview. So this is to give you an idea of what is, how to impress in those interviews. All right, and our goal for today is I want you to get into top 1/3 of my list when I rank you or I score you. And particularly important to the non-verbal, because 60% of the decisions making during the interview process, believe it or not, based on your non-verbal. So as Asian, we focus a lot on your score, how to do well in the MCAT, how to do well on your GPA, but often we forget focusing on the non-verbal versus verbals. And the last thing I'd like to share with you what it should be the verbal language, how to tell a powerful story. Because when people ask you, tell me about yourself, and then you start what? I was born and raised in Vietnam, and then going on. And when you finish, everyone sleeps. You don't want that. You want a good statement, and I'll show you why. Next one, please. All right, who is the more trustworthy? The left or the right? Hopefully all you say on the right, not on the left, right? Because, next one, please. You never have a second chance for your first impression, okay? This is particularly true for your dating someone too. All right? Is that right? Is that right? And look, remember how you first met Jillian? Yes. So a lot of people here have family can confirm, and also you dating, you should know this too. Next one, please. All right, so let's dive into this. For an average class size 150, what they usually do, they screen your application, and how many, it depends, UCLA, USC, or SUNY, or whatever medical school, but usually it's 3,000 to 4,000. Now, they will interview you at 600 to 800 applicants, and typically 10 to 20 days. What does it mean? It means if you get an interview, you already make a really good chance. You get 1 out of 5 or 6 guy or girl, one step into medical school, right? You see that? And now, out 500-600, usually people send out acceptance letter to 200 or 250. Why? Why they send more than 150? Because some of you will not go to medical school, that particular medical school. And guess what? They reject about 200 or the lower 1/3. And then the wait list about 100. So your goal for today, you want to get into 200, immediately accept the letter. And even not that, get into the wait list. You do not get into the DNR list. We call do not rank list, or we call whatever, do not resuscitate list. Okay? Because this is in residency, why we put you on this list? Because you look weird. Because we don't like you. So those are things that you have to make sure that you act, behave, and how they look, because you don't want to be in that list. Next one, please. All right, residency, similar story. Internal medicine class size is 10, and people student about 2,000, interview 10 to 100 150, and then put again 1/3 of the list, rank number 1 to number 30, and the mid and the low rank. Usually you match first choice if you are ranked from 1 to 30. And you want to get into that list. Next one, please. All right, so that's how. So first of all, you should know about yourself, and this is many interviewers tell you again and again, but I cannot re-emphasize how important it is. Know everything inside and out about you, about your CV. Whatever you listed on your CV, you should know like everything about that. Don't hesitate, oh, really, something like that. That's not good. So the goal for you is to impress the interviewer, and if you do so, you will get into medical school. Can everyone hear me? Hello? All right. That's okay. I usually don't answer that. All right. All right, so do your homework before you go to medical school interview. What do? You check online forum about interviewing and interviewer. This is important. Learn about your key interviewer. This is key. Again, who are the key? Dean, assistant dean, key faculty. Look for someone old. Look for someone been there for a long time because he or she will be there to see you again. Okay? And then be familiar with the driving, how to cross the school. You know this, but be early, eat well, drink well, and sleep well. And the key thing is be able to answer the biggest question from the interviewer. Why you? Why you? Remember this, why you? For medical school admission, for residency. Thank you. Thank you, Anla. Next, yes. And how would you impress the interviewer in 10 or 15 minutes? This is the key thing. You have or should have by now observation skill. You start from the parking lot, you most intend during the interview and then finish when you go back to a car. It means you constantly looking, constantly observe what's going on around you. And the non-verbal language, good handshake, body gesture, dress, and eye contact. And those, again and again, those skills you will learn today with us. We show you how to do. And then verbal language, as mentioned earlier, powerful words and powerful storyteller. And then ask the right question. Next one, please. So study have been shown why people fail interview. The number one reason why, because they fail into those things. Number one, eye contact. When you talk about eye contact, don't look too much, but don't look too little. And that's the key thing. If you date somebody, yeah, you can fall into her eye or his eye. But this is medical school interview. Don't look too much. But if you look too little, like this all the time, that's not cool either. Right? So this is the right amount of eye contact. And smile. Make sure you smile. Especially for those who become a future dentist. Right? Dentist, by all means, smiling. So make sure you're smiling, okay? And cross arm is one thing that people don't like. Make sure you don't do that. And then a wrong handshake. Again, people ask me what is wrong handshake? Remember, sometimes you're shaking a female faculty. Don't make a very hard handshake because it's painful. And think about it. So what's the right one? You make sure that the tight one to show your confidence, but less than 1 or 2 seconds. Don't just hold a hand. I cannot re-emphasize you how many times I interview medical student and resident or future resident. Some of them really weird handshake. And I will tell you my hand sometimes, oh my gosh. And then for the next 1 minute, I can think about the handshake. and you don't want that. You want something different than the hand, okay? Next one, please. All right. Forgetting, this is something some Asian students always do. Sometimes they do it. Don't ever do this, okay? Don't, or do this, or do this, or none of those, okay? Look straight forward at your interviewer. Don't do those kind of things. Next one, please. Again, first impression via body. 55% the way you dress, act, and walk to the door will determine somehow you get into the medical school. And on the right side, if you fail to make those things, it's likely you will put on a DNR list, and you don't want that, right? Next one, please. Now, this question that often get asked from students, and how would you dress? Dress like you are today, okay? Professional, don't dress something overqualified. And I remember, just tell you again, some of us ask about okay, makeup, perfumes, but everything should be in moderate. You don't really want to go too far. And you look fabulous today, okay? You're good. Thank you. Next one, please. All right. I told you good eye contact because this is how you respect the interviewer. And Asian people, sometimes we are afraid to have eye contact, right? Especially if we look for someone like parents or teacher, we don't look straight forward. We look a little bit low. This is not true for a medical interview. You should look straight forward, calm, in a confident manner. Next one, please. All right, love in that side, hate in this side. You want in the middle. You don't want too, no, neither way. You don't want too aggressive. You don't want to be too submissive. Next one, please. All right, the body language during interview are so important. But I tell you what, this is outside the interview. Because many of you, when you go into interview, you look, oh, nice. But when you get out, wait in the waiting room, you do this. And you do this. You know what? People constantly observe you. People constantly look at you. And when they look at you, because the faculty, they may stop by, they say, oh, Calvin, he looks just like this. And that's not professional either. Because often we focus too much inside the room, but outside your manner, constantly being observed. And whatever out there like this, you will be on the deep analysis. Next one, please. All right, and what is a good gesture? So today, we will tell you and we will give you feedback what are your good gestures or not. But the key thing is comfortable, confident, attentive, and you are showing you're listening. So this question I've been asked many times, and in conclusion, what I usually tell students is, you just slightly lean forward, open your arm or hand together, back straight, and make sure you don't have low back pain. Okay, this is Asian. Sometimes we do this all the time. Just sit straight, and then direct eye contact. And 1/4 smile. You don't really all smile all the time. Don't do that. But don't do this. So often 1/4 your smile. Thank you. Next one. All right. The power of silence. I don't know if many of you here remember from my talk from other things. Silence is really powerful in interview. Right? Did I get everyone's attention? You see, if I silent for 3 seconds, but do not be silent for 5 minutes, because that's too powerful, then they will reject you. Okay? Don't do that. Just 3 seconds. You see my tone go up and down. No monotone, okay? Interviewer, you can go up, you can go down, but do not say in monotone. And then ask the right question. Next one, please. All right, you powerful words. You should know this by now, right? Whenever you tell about story, you make something that really powerful by picking those words carefully. You can say incredible, gorgeous, abundant. Remember, those words will make your voice stronger, but also powerful to the interviewer. So think about those powerful words. And today, during the feedback, we will give you how you should or what words you should choose. Next one. Okay, this question I also get asked a lot. What is a good question, right? Because at the end of the interview, we will ask you, okay, can you go? Do you have any questions? And the word answer is what? I don't have any questions. Okay, so at least make 1 or 2 questions, because if you don't have any questions, let's say 2 things. Number 1, you don't really care about this program. Number 2, if you do, it sounds like you're very passive. You should be, or you take control. This is your chance to learn about the medical school. This is your chance to learn about the residency program. So at least have 1 or 2 questions, and we'll tell you why. All right, so number 1, the question is individualized to the faculty, not general question. Number 2, the question is unique. I cannot find it online. I cannot find it in forum and discussion. So don't ask like, how many class, what is the class size for this medical school? Okay, don't ask that. Or you ask that, oh, how many, what is the match rate for this medical school? You know why? Because those things you can find online. Don't waste time for this. Short but meaningful. And remember, this is the last impression you can make. Next one, please. All right, so this is the key point. When you ask this, be able to tell a story. So I told you at the beginning, whenever you ask a question, tell me about yourself, what is your background? focus in one sentence, a strong opening. Dr. Wynn, I'm a recent UCLA graduate with honors, majoring in biomedical engineer, and enthusiastic to be here today. That's it. Strong statement, who you are, and we remember you. Don't say, oh, I was born and raised in Vietnam. I came to the US when I was 3. My mom doing this, my dad doing it, my sister doing this since. Okay, and when you finish, everyone gets sleep. So don't do that. And then, when you give some silence to the interviewer, tell a bit about yourself as time goes. And then, when you're about to finish, you conclude with one strong statement. As you can see, I'm very enthusiastic about this medical school and residency, and I believe I'm the best candidate for today. And make that impression. Next one, please. All right, and then I said, get to the point and short question. Often I get this, oh, Dr. Tran, I have 2 questions for you. The first one is, would you mind, blah, blah. Don't do that. Just go straight to the question, Dr. Tran, why would you teach in this medical school? Straightforward like that. And whenever you ask those questions, not only you save time for you, for the interviewer, but also impress people that you tell them you know how to ask questions. Next one, please. All right. Now, we're moving to close the interview. When you get asked, do you have any more questions? You should say thank you to this, and then a good handshake again. Okay, don't do too strong, don't do too weak, and I still remember that handshake from the guy. And then, if you can, do a handwriting thank you, and I usually do that while you walk in the car or you get out of the room. You know why? Because you remember. You remember today that you saw this, and you note something particularly about you, about the faculty. All right, next one, please. All right, so hopefully in the last 10 or 15 minutes, I'll show you how and what is how to impress. Any questions? I need 2 questions. Yes?
So what are some of the most impressive questions that have lasted with you?
Well, the most impressive question is, why did you choose to stay in this faculty medical school while the medical school has a lot of scandals? And actually that's a very hard question, and I remember that because it's and my question is, first and foremost, I care about my students. I don't care about anything else. And if I can see the school mission is service students, that's why I'm here. So actually that's a very good point. Whenever you ask a question, try to tailor to that particular school. Because if you can see the school mission, you can see the school statements, if you can follow with that, you're good. All right. Any more questions? And then I can hand it to my colleague, Dr. Tran. All right, thank you guys, and I see you.